Now I'm going to make a video of my assignment, my reflections on how does learning happen, the document. I will do my assignment from this following content. The first one, I want to do an overview of the document. Second, I want to talk about my understanding about the 4 foundations. Third, I want to show some examples from my point of view that what they mean in practice for me. Fourth, I want to talk about the merits of this document. Fifth, I want to talk about a little bit missing parts of the document. At last, I will make a conclusion and share my reference page, and I will attach my reference page separately. Okay. First, I want to do an overview. What is the document about? The document is a guidebook. We all know that. The guidebook can be used for our early childhood educators and also can be very helpful for parents. So I want to summary the content using PRP to share my opinion. The first R refers to relationship. So from the whole document, building positive relationship is the key to learning. Building relationships and building relationships between parents, family, educator, and the children is the key for children's learning as well as educators' learning and parents' learning also. So relationship is the most important thing. Second, it's the progress. Progress is what we do during our learning. Like it's not a plan, unchangeable plan, but more like a process that could be like including a lot of changes or adjustments. So when we focus on learning, but not when we focus on learning, not only what the content we learn, but also how we learn, the approaches, the ways that is a pedagogy means for me. And the third is the result. Result is like for everyone's learning, there is a goal. We learn with a purpose. We learn for children's development and goodness. We learn for our profession and for our family's well-being. So this is a goal. This is the goal of our learning. And then I want to talk about the 4 foundations because this is the main content of this document. As we mentioned before, these 4 foundations are all about one thing: relationships. That's not weird because we learn through relationship, we love through relationship, and we lead through relationship. And now I want to say each foundation for you. The first one is belonging. Belonging is a sense of connectedness. When you have the belonging with someone, like you feel free or safe to be yourself, and you have the willing to share your thoughts and contribute to the community, to the surroundings, if you feel you are believed, you are belonged to that community. The second is well-being. Well-being is like being well, being healthy. We can see this in at least 3 domains, which is our physical well-being, our mental well-being, and our spiritual well-being. So when we talk about well-being, we are not only talk about physical goodness, but also mental and spiritual as well. The third foundation is engagement. Engagement, in another word for me, is passion or interest. So where children shows their passion, so they are more likely to engage in there, right? This is the same for educators. If educators find their calling in their career, they are more likely to engage in their working, in their daily working. Even if someone said, oh, isn't your job kind of diaper changing? Even some of these comments come, right? The fourth one is expression. Expression is like a channel to voice out, to speak out. It may include verbal or non-verbal voices. For children, they are like capable communicators. They have many ways to share their thoughts, to speak out their voice. And expression is important because this is a way people to interact with their surroundings. So for expression, we value our right to express ourselves. We value children's rights to express themselves. We value families' right to express themselves. And we care about the content, what they want, what kind of message they want to deliver for us. The third part, I want to talk about some examples I could think of, refers to our 4 foundations. First one, belonging. If we say belonging for children, it means building positive relationships between children and adults. And the adults could come from their family and educators too. So it's very important to know the children as a unique individual. Like I could think about an example is we can make a file for each children, and then we put their information or their pieces of works into this file. Another one is another part is to encourage peer interactions. For children, we can make a duty schedule among our class so that they can take care of some daily tasks which they are capable to do, and they can help each other as well. I mean, they can take care of each other as well. Belongings for families. How could we give families a sense of belonging in our program? The first one is we should know that we are having a partnership with our parents. Our parents are not only our clients or customers to our early learning centers, but we are partners as well. So we can use tools such as OneDrive to share some information about children's development together with the parents. Like we can also hold parent-educator meetings to update and discuss our learning plans, curriculums, and some feedback. The second is for families, we should create a welcoming environment for all the families. We can throw a party for all the families as a national day to share and respect diversity in culture, history, language, customs, and so on. And a small example can be, you can sing a song to welcome the family when they drop off their children at the beginning of the morning, at the beginning of the day, right? Belongings for educators. First, belongings for educators means we can think about educator benefits, such as paid holidays or a collaborative working atmosphere that are very friendly for all the educators. For example, we can have a monthly birthday party, right, between educators. And second, we can give educators some opportunities for their professional growth. As an example, we can have some STEAM workshops for them. We can have seminars, conferences, online courses that help our educator to be better on their professional road. Well-being. Well-being for children means we support their physical health at least, because physical health is the most obvious one we can see as well-being, right? I know the winter days of Ottawa are usually cold, snowy, and many like cloudy days. So educators should prepare well for winter activities, especially the physical activities. Like we can make a winter adventure plan according to our weather report, and also have a plan B for like extreme weathers or like accidents. We need to be like we need to prepare well and also be flexible for our winter physical activities. Second, we can foster emotional well-being, because the health in our mind is also very important. We can borrow some ideas from picture books. Like I remember there is a picture book about emotion monsters, talking about emotions, right? It's good for children to have awareness of their emotions. And also we can make emotion bottles with children. So when they have emotions, they have a way to deal with their emotions, to express their emotions, and they have more, they are more likely to have like positive behaviors. Well-being. Well-being for families means families, they have the feeling of connection, and they are willing to participate in children's wellness and feel supported as caregivers. I believe that families know their children best. So we can hold regular family events or parent-children activities to build the sense of belongings between them. And during this process, educators can surely know the family and children better. Second, according to the social determinants of health, the ability of managing stress and emotions can affect their well-being status. So our early learning center, I know we are like education organizations, but we can also connect related resources for families, such as parenting program or like mental health services. I mean, we are not professional. We are not professional for that kind of domains, but we can be a bridge to help them to connect to the information. Well-being for educators. I would like to say the well-being for educators is very important, because we need to have a balance between our work and life. It could be a flexible scheduling or workload management, or like a very supportive working environment. Just think of what we can do for our educators in our organization. While when our educators can maintain their own health, they have a good mode to work with our children and also our organizations too. Second, educators are viewed as competent and professionals. I'm very glad to see this perspective in this document, that we are professionals. We are not like some comments said, diaper changers, but we are professionals as nurses, as teachers, as some other professionals as well. For example, we can have some like autonomy in decision making. Like if our board of school wants to do some decisions, especially related to our curriculum, our assessments, and classroom settings, I insist educators should be involved. Their advice should be taken, their voice should be heard, and their feelings should be considered. So if educators are trusted by our boards and parents, so they are more likely to do their best for our children. Engagement for children, just as Frederick Froebel said, a child's play is his work. So play-based learning should always be a big part when we consider how we could like entice our children to engage in their like daily life. So engagement could be shown. So this could be shown in a play-based curriculum, which focus on children's interests and abilities. Like we can set several play areas. We can set several play areas for all the children, because children have different interests and they have different abilities. Their level of development may not be the same. So we can set several play areas. So most children can go to can pick an area by their own willing and can have fun with their peers. An example could be when we want to set, for example, sandbox. We can also set a salt box with Arctic animals. We can also set a oat box with desert animals. We can also like display some farm animals on our wooden shelves. So in this way, like children can play with the animals they are more familiar with or they are interested in. Second, I believe every child is unique. This is my philosophy of children, and this will influence my work when I do my curriculum or when I do my educating plan. For example, I will provide multi-sensory activities, including touch, hear, see, taste, and smile for children. So children can experience multi-sensories, and I will keep them busy so they are more likely to engage into their learning and play. Engagement for families. We want our families to be involved in our learning centers, and we want them to have the feeling of engagement. For example, families can contribute in activities with their knowledge or skills. They may help with a particular event or decision-making process related to children's learning. Families can also participate in a charity sale or a sports meeting, right? We know our parents can be a cashier or can be like a manager in charge of a booth. Second, building a learning community which involves family can deliver a friendly and welcoming message. We can set several physical settings according to our knowledge of families. If we know their background, their culture, we can gain some ideas when we do our physical settings. We can also create opportunities for each families to meet with each other, to share, to talk, like a class New Year party will be a good way. Engagement for educators. First, we need to give educators some personal space. That's a way to show our respect to educators. Like a very simple thing is, I hope every educator can have a locker for their personal stuff. I hope the Wi-Fi in my workplace is fast. So like when I need to do my office work, I can have I don't need to I don't need to bother with the speed of the Wi-Fi, right? Second is ask about educators' opinion when we want to do decisions or changes. If we could hold a meeting among all the educators talking about their ideas about what we have done, what kinds of challenges we have met, and what we are going to do, what kinds of help or support do you need? I think that kind of meeting will be helpful. Also, it's very important for our organizations to tell educators that how thankful our families and our organizations are for their contribute, how great work they have already done, like what our school is going to do for their goodness. 4. The fourth foundation, expression. For children, first, we view children as a capable communicator. So that's the reason why we should create chances for them to express. Their ability of communications began from the birth. They cry, so we receive signals from them, what they want to, and we think about what they want to express. We can have some blank layouts for children to express themselves freely. For example, we can have a red for a piece of blank paper, so they can draw whatever they want on it. And we can have a recorder, so they can record and play the recording. We can also have a a display space for them to put their works on it. Third, we can involve various ways of expressions, including oral, sight, movement, etc. For example, we sing with children, we dance with them, even if I'm not a good dancer, but I would like to dance with them. I would like to have fun with them. We encourage children with leadership character to lead, and the followers' children to try some challenges. We give them support for their development. We encourage them for appropriate risk-taking. I think that that can make them busy, can make them engage in our learning. Expressions for families. First, sharing with each other can be a way of expression. Example, we can ask families feedback about their children's progress or experiences, and we can talk about what happens in their holidays or at home. Parents can share their thoughts or concerns and gain some information from educators as we support each other, right? In this way, they can have a voice in children's learning. Second, we can also create opportunities for children's expression. For example, children can be invited to volunteer in our activities like family afternoon tea time or family sale or family sports or class celebration and so on. Parents can show their support and get familiar with each other by working together. Expressions for educators. First, expressions happens with speaking and listening. So opportunities like curriculum plan meetings or seminars are channels for educators to express. Educators share their ideas about their children's philosophy, working plans, challenges, and support they need. Second, emerging curriculums can be very helpful for both characters and children to express themselves. My thinking is when educators become familiar about children's ability, their style of learning, we can give more freedom to our curriculum. So we can try emerging curriculums in our class. For example, in an emergent class, children and educators, they both express their interests, their knowledge, and their abilities, and they interact with each other, right? They connect with each other, and both their voices can be heard, and we can help children learn through the progress. The part 4, I want to talk about the merits in 3H. I watched a commentary, a video about two professions talking about the documents after the document was released, and Professor Crane, she made a comment. She said, this document is a profound shift away. So I was wondering what kind of shift away it is. When I finished reading this document, I'd like to say there are 3H shifts. The first is head. What we think in our head. What educators think in minds. The document believes that children, families, and educators, they are competent co-learners. They are working together. They are learning together. So that's a beautiful picture for me. And the second is hands. What educators do in behavior. When what we think in our mind is a thing. And when the rubber hits the road, it's another thing, right? When we do our daily work, we know that children, families, and educators, all of them are learning through positive relationship and reactions. That's amazing. We learn through relationships. Third one is heart, what we believe as our values. Everyone is a learner. The children are learners. The families are learners. The educators are learners. And everyone is a unique learner. This is so beautiful because I really believe this as my own value. I would like to have a lifelong learning for myself. Would you? The fourth part, I would talk about some meeting parts. That I would like to see the document is amazing, but still, as a future to be educator, I would like to have some extended information. It's a good framework for us and for parents as well. But for like, if I want to know further about the learning strategies, about how to make a play-based curriculum, how to do like play-based activities, I'd like to have some extended information. And if the documents can give me some guides on how to access to this kind of information, it would be great. Another part is I hope there could be some like detailed examples. When I read the documents, I think about what does it mean in my life. And as well, I also want to know like what does the foundations mean in other educators' life in their practice. So if we could have some detailed examinations, how these principles outline the framework, it would be great. And I know we want to keep this document like short, briefly, so we can use QR code to link to the cases or the examples without making it being very thick. At last, I want to make a conclusion of my reflections. I believe learning is not a linear process, but a spiral one that involves project, passion, peers, and play. Learners, including children, families, and educators, they can develop a deeper understanding of abilities and skills over time. We may use various materials and creations, while the core process of learning is similar. First, we get our ideas from our surroundings. We have some images in our mind. And then second, we want to try them out. For children, they want to play them out. They want to use the images and imaginations in their play. And third, we get some input from our relationships. For example, we get feedback from our children. We know whether they like the idea we made in our documents or not. For example, we know that when one children tried their idea out, other children followed or not. And third, we generate new ideas. So it is like a circle, unending circle, like energizing circle, or we borrow the idea from rhythmic match. It is a like spiral process. How does learning happen? This document ended with a question mark. It is a question for me. It is also a question for all the educators. I think all the educators can have their own answer after enjoying this document. And here are my references. I will also attach a document of my references of my assignment as well. These are all for my assignment. Thank you very much.